Is the Antichrist already among us? This question has echoed throughout history, whispered in hushed tones and pondered in the quiet corners of our minds. The Antichrist, a figure shrouded in mystery and dread, has captivated the human imagination for centuries. But is this harbinger of doom already walking among us, concealed in plain sight? The very notion of the Antichrist conjures images of chaos and tribulation, a world teetering on the brink of destruction. Join us as we delve into the enigma of the Antichrist, seeking to understand its nature, its origins, and its potential impact on our world. We will navigate the labyrinthine corridors of religious texts, seeking clues to the Antichrist's true identity. Is the Antichrist a real entity, poised to usher in an era of darkness? Or is it a symbolic representation of the evil that lurks within us all? The Antichrist. The very word sends shivers down the spines of many, conjuring images of global catastrophe and unparalleled evil. Across various belief systems, the Antichrist holds a prominent place in end-time prophecies, often depicted as a malevolent force destined to plunge the world into darkness. But who or what is the Antichrist? Is it a single individual, a demonic entity, or a more abstract representation of chaos and opposition to the divine? Ancient myths, with their tales of deception, destruction, and cosmic battles, provide a glimpse into the enduring human fascination with the forces of darkness and the end of times. Within Christian tradition, the Antichrist is often portrayed as a charismatic but deceptive figure who emerges in the final days, leading humanity astray and challenging the sovereignty of God. Within the tapestry of Christian belief, the Antichrist is not merely a malevolent force, but a specific entity whose arrival heralds the end times. Christian scriptures, particularly the New Testament, provide glimpses into the nature and actions of this ominous figure. The Apostle John in his epistles provides some of the most direct references to the Antichrist, using the term Antichrist to describe those who deny the divinity of Jesus Christ. John writes, "Who is the liar? It is whoever denies that Jesus is the Christ. Such a person is the Antichrist, denying the Father and the Son." 1 John 2:22. However, the book of Revelation, with its vivid imagery and symbolic language, offers a more detailed, albeit highly symbolic portrayal of the Antichrist, referred to as the Beast. This enigmatic figure is depicted as wielding immense power, deceiving the nations, and waging war against God's people. The Antichrist, shrouded in mystery and imbued with apocalyptic significance, has become a lightning rod for speculation, conspiracy theories, and misinterpretations. Over the centuries, countless individuals and groups have been branded as the Antichrist, from Roman emperors to religious leaders to political figures. One persistent misconception is that the Antichrist will be an overtly evil figure, easily recognizable by their wickedness. However, biblical descriptions suggest a more nuanced and insidious threat. The Antichrist is not a monstrous tyrant but a charismatic deceiver, a master manipulator who gains power through charm and false promises. Another common misunderstanding is that the Antichrist will emerge suddenly and unexpectedly, taking the world by storm. However, the biblical narrative suggests a more gradual rise to power, marked by deception, the erosion of truth, and the increasing influence of evil. Section 5. Unearthing the Antichrist through the sands of time. The concept of the Antichrist, while deeply rooted in Christian tradition, has transcended its theological origins to permeate popular culture, literature, and art. From the early days of the Church to the modern era, artists, writers, and filmmakers have grappled with the Antichrist symbolism, using this enigmatic figure to explore themes of good versus evil, the fragility of faith, and the seductive nature of power. In medieval times, the Antichrist was a common subject in religious art, often depicted as a monstrous figure engaged in battle with the forces of heaven. As the Renaissance dawned, artists began to portray the Antichrist in more human terms, highlighting the potential for evil to lurk beneath a veneer of charm and respectability. In literature, the Antichrist has been a source of endless fascination, inspiring countless novels, plays, and poems. Section 6. The Antichrist Calling Card Signs and Symbols. The Book of Revelation, with its cryptic imagery and symbolic language, offers a glimpse into the signs and wonders that will accompany the Antichrist's arrival. One of the most enduring signs associated with the Antichrist is the mark of the beast, described in Revelation 13, verses 16 to 18, as a mark on the right hand or forehead that will be required to buy or sell. This mark, often interpreted as a form of forced allegiance to the Antichrist regime, has sparked endless speculation, with some linking it to microchips, barcodes, or other forms of identification technology. Other signs include wars, famines, earthquakes, and pestilences, all of which are described in Matthew 24 verses 6 to 8 as the beginning of birth pains. These calamities, often interpreted as harbingers of the Antichrist's reign, serve as stark reminders of the world's brokenness and the fragility of human civilization. Section 7. The Antichrist's Reign, a World Transformed. The biblical account of the Antichrist's reign paints a bleak picture of a world plunged into chaos and darkness. During this time of tribulation, the Antichrist will wield immense power, deceiving nations, persecuting the faithful, and attempting to usurp the authority of God. According to Revelation, the Antichrist will establish a one-world government, demanding absolute allegiance and crushing any opposition. This global dominion will be characterized by oppression, false worship, and the suppression of truth. However, amidst the darkness and despair, the faithful are called to remain steadfast in their faith, resisting the Antichrist's deception and clinging to the hope of Christ's return. This period of tribulation, while terrifying, is not the end of the story. It is a prelude to a new heaven and a new earth, a time when God's kingdom will be fully realized. Section 8. The Unanswerable Questions, Unveiling the Mystery. The Antichrist, despite centuries of theological debate and speculation, remains an enigma, a figure shrouded in mystery and unanswered questions. While the Bible provides glimpses into the Antichrist's nature and actions, many details are left open to interpretation, fueling endless debate and speculation among theologians and laypeople alike. One enduring question is the Antichrist's true identity. Is this figure a specific individual destined to arise at some point in history, or is the Antichrist a more symbolic representation of the spirit of evil that has manifested throughout different eras? Another unanswered question is the timing of the Antichrist's arrival. While some believe the Antichrist's coming is imminent, others view it as a more distant event, perhaps even symbolic in nature. The Bible itself warns against setting dates for the end times, emphasizing that God's timing is not our own. Section 9. The Antichrist's Origins, a question of place and time. The Antichrist's origins are a subject of much debate, with various interpretations emerging from biblical texts and theological discussions. Some believe the Antichrist will emerge from a specific geographic location, while others focus on the spiritual or symbolic nature of their origins. One passage that has fueled much speculation is found in Daniel 11:41, which states that the King of the North will enter the glorious land. Another passage often cited is Revelation 13:1, which describes the beast as rising from the sea. This imagery has led some to believe the Antichrist will emerge from a maritime nation, possibly a global superpower with a strong naval presence. However, others interpret the sea as a symbol of chaos or the Gentile nations, suggesting the Antichrist could originate from outside the traditional boundaries of Christianity. Section 10. Echoes of Doubt, the enigmatic nature of the Antichrist. The Antichrist, despite centuries of attempts to decipher its mysteries, remains an enigma, a figure shrouded in shadows and ambiguity. The Bible, while offering glimpses into the Antichrist's nature and actions, does not provide definitive answers to many questions surrounding its origins, identity, or the precise timing of its arrival. This inherent ambiguity has fueled endless speculation, interpretation, and even fear. Yet it also serves as a reminder of the limits of human understanding when it comes to matters of faith and prophecy. Rather than obsessing over specific dates or attempting to pinpoint the Antichrist's identity, perhaps the more important takeaway is the call to vigilance and spiritual preparedness. Section 11. A Call to Ponder. As we conclude our exploration of the Antichrist, we are left with more questions than answers. The Antichrist remains an enigma, a figure shrouded in mystery and open to interpretation. Yet the very act of grappling with this complex and unsettling topic can deepen our understanding of faith, the nature of evil, and the challenges facing humanity. What are your thoughts on the Antichrist's identity and the signs of their arrival? Share your perspectives and engage in thoughtful dialogue with others as we collectively seek to understand this enduring mystery.